is Kieran Pepper. Well, fabulous racing from our heats. And I'm happy to tell you there are no more heats today because the last races of the day are upon us. The finals in each of our classes come next. And these are the races where we will have some trophies to give out. After each race, there will be a podium ceremony for each class where the drivers will, of course, give trophies. The top 6 in the young classes are awarded trophies. And I've got to keep my eyes wide open because other than the top 6 category drivers, I've also got to give a Driver of the Day award to the drivers outside the top 6. So you might need to help me at some point. I've got so much to keep an eye on, but it's going to be very interesting as the finals get underway here at Clay Pigeon. Well, it's definitely going to be a difficult race ahead. They know what's at stake here, and the drivers are ready to line up in a very, very exciting race. It's going to be Grayson Wortley that lines up in pole position. Marley Fisher alongside second on the grid. Max Gilman and Austin Newsted will take their places on the second row. Then Aaron Southwood Jr. will be 5th, and Reese David Richardson in P6 alongside on the third row. Harper Das in 7th place on the grid alongside Jack Baker, and then it will be Dax Farah beside Charlie Clough, and then we'll have Vesper Farah and Charlie Jones, whereas the man who'll be charging through from the back, Morgan Weston, is going to be the one to make that massive leap from 13th to the front. Unfortunate for Morgan Weston considering fastest in qualifying, but that does not mean that we are not about to see an amazing comeback. This will be a really exciting race, no doubt, and we will see plenty of drama and a lot of excitement and intrigue. I'll have to watch it from outside the window, sadly. My screen has well and truly gone down on me. But we will get that sorted as soon as possible. However, fortunately, I can see plenty out of the window. So let's see how this race unfolds. Wortley on the outside line, and on the inside line, Marley Fisher. But crucially, Wortley is on the inside line for Billy's Blind, the right-hander in turn 2. This is going to be a tough race. They all know that, but we're going to have plenty of excitement and entertainment as the competitors line up in position. The engines go on, and it's time for the final. The Bambino C50 New Era. First final of the season in Super 1. Time to go racing at Clay Pigeon. Let's get it on. Red lights are on. When they go out, we'll race. Let's do it. Great start from Marley Fisher. No problem at all as they head up towards Billy's Blind for the first time. The carts go through, all fine and dandy. And it looks to me as though it's a clean one as they go through the right-hander. No problems on the way through, up to the S's. And so far, so good. Through the chicane and up towards Sterney Straight. They go through and then to the hairpin. Marley Fisher, side by side nearly, with the 70 right in the mix there. So this is obviously going to be a very tall order. They know how tricky this race is. It is a 10-minute race plus the additional lap. Marley Fisher leads the way. Grayson Wortley in second place. Very close up behind. Austin Newsted now third. Max Gilman is still in the mix there. Don't count him out. Now, how much progress, more importantly, has the 27 made? How much progress has Morgan Weston made coming up through the field? I think I can just make him out in the background. Yes, he's in behind Dax Farah. So that's a great start from Morgan Weston, up into 9th place. And that's a run wide for the leader. Grayson Wortley got into the lead initially, but Marley Fisher's got back through. So those two are battling for position. Now that is what Morgan Weston needs. He needs the leaders to be scrapping away for the victory, because if they do, then he can charge forward. So this is going to be a tight race. This is definite. Marley Fisher hanging on in front of Wortley, Newsted, Gilman and Richardson. 6th place at the moment is Aaron Southwood Jr., having just got past Jack Baker. Morgan Weston is there in 8th. So back into an opportunity for the victory. You never know who's going to get the job done here in these races, particularly when it's so competitive in Bambino C50 New Era. Here they come. Marley Fisher hanging on in front of Grayson Wortley. Wortley gets out of the slipstream, up the inside. Lovely move from Wortley. Decisive and academic. Beautiful move on the inside line there. And now we've got Max Gilman getting onto it as well as he duels for third position in behind Newstead. The leaders have come together! Oh, that's such a shame! Fisher and Wortley tangle in the S's. Oh, a difficult moment. I would love to see it again. But it's a very tricky one, and I think it's exactly the same type of incident we saw earlier on. You can't blame either driver for that one. They're battling for the same bit of racetrack. Here we go. So, Wortley's in front. Fisher's got enough space there to make the move. Wortley's turned in. They're just tangling with each other now at this point, and unfortunately Fisher's drifted across the path of Wortley and taken them both off. Nothing they could do. These are youngsters. It's a tough moment, but they are both back in the race again, so they've got chances to make it up. Newstead is your leader. Max Gilman is now in second place. A great chance for this young tyke. Here he comes. Second position, right in behind Newstead. He's got a good opportunity here. He's reading the situation well. Just giving himself plenty of space to make his next decision. He doesn't have to go for the lead yet. This is well read by Gilman. Second place behind Newstead. Third position for Southwood Junior. He's an unknown quantity because he's never run in the top 3 this weekend. He's fought back from last place in both races to be in the top 5, but now he's got a genuine crack at this. And up into 5th place comes Morgan Weston. Morgan Weston's now up into P5. So the man who started dead last is now up in the top 5 in the hunt for victory. Here we go. Newstead, Gilman, Southwood Junior. Look at this drifted battle as Fisher tries to come back into it. Side by side with Morgan Weston. And Marley Fisher's getting in there with Rhys David Richardson. Weston gets up the inside and passes Richardson. So does Fisher. So that's a nice bit of racecraft from those two. Weston up to 4th, Fisher up to 5th, Richardson 6th, ahead of Baker, Farah, Das and Grayson Wortley. Still a great battle to come as now Weston and Fisher can charge forward together, and we know that they are race-winning drivers. We know that they have the ability to do this, so they can work together. Don't panic. Plenty of time still to win this race. If you're in the top 5 now, you're in the hunt. So down the main straight, Newstead and Gilman trying to shake off Southwood Junior, but these two drivers just need to work together here. It's going to be a fascinating battle between Newstead, Gilman and Southwood Junior. No problems for Weston and Fisher. They're still moving on. I love Bambino racing. There are so many variables in this class. It's not the same as a junior category. It's not the same as a senior category. The karts may be slower, but they're smaller and narrower, so there's more racetrack to play with. There are more racing lines. There are more overtaking opportunities on any racetrack in a Bambino than you'd ever get in a junior or a senior. So these guys have to be creative with their thinking. It teaches you really good racecraft, Bambino driving. You've got to be absolutely focused. Total concentration. Out of the final turn, the top 3 are still glued together. Newstead, Gilman, Southwood Junior. Then there's a little bit of a pause, and then we've got 27 and 22, Weston and Fisher. Former race leaders or race winners. These two, very strong, 4th and 5th. Plenty of time, especially if these 3 start dueling. Grayson Wortley, by the way, is on the comeback drive too, up into 8th place behind Rhys David Richardson. So here they come again. This is good control from Newstead and Gilman. They don't have to race each other at this point. There is a long way still to go in the race. They just need to work together. Southwood Junior is not prepared to play ball. He wants to get through past them both, but they're doing exactly what they need to do here, Newstead and Gilman. They're just edging away. They're just pushing away from the karts behind them, trying to chase the pack, and that's exactly what they need at this point. They don't need to get into battle with each other. They don't need to swap positions. They just need to run in formation until that clock ticks down. They can see how much time there is when they come over the start-finish line, so they know how much ground there is left to make up. And they're just reading the situation. It's just about counting down the laps, looking after the car, look after the tyres, look after the brakes, look after your own composure. Very good run from Newstead. This is such a tough ask of a youngster to run in the lead of a race when it's this competitive, when it's this close, and try and keep it together. It's never easy. So through they come again. And that's a bit of a moment from Southwood Junior. He came off the turn there and just lost the footing on the throttle a little bit. And that's enough to bring Marley Fisher back up into pursuit. So I have a feeling this is going to get interesting again. We've already had a couple of moments like that, and we're going to get a few more by the look of things. So let's see how it continues. Now we've got a 4-kart battle. See, Marley Fisher's back in the victory hunt now. And behind, I would say probably Morgan Weston is as well. So this is going to be a 5-driver race battle. Now up the road, they've got Charlie Jones to navigate. Jones is going to be lapped probably at the end of, at the beginning of the next lap. So they've got to keep an eye on that. Here's Gilman having a little look on the inside of Newstead. Now they might need to start racing because they've got 2 or 3 more carts behind them trying to get into position. This is where the race really starts. Up the inside, Southwood Junior protects from Fisher. There's enough of a gap for Weston to have a look. He doesn't get there. He has to stop back in. Now we're going to have a bit of a battle down to the final turn. Gilman, though, is doing the sensible thing here. He's slotting in behind Newstead. Don't go too ugly early. Now they've got Jones in front. Jones is just doing his own race. Watch out, guys! You've got Southwood Junior sweeping up the inside of both of you. He's got past one, nearly got past the other, and Weston's dived up the inside of everybody. And in a second place, Morgan Weston has shot forward. He's now in second, chasing after Newstead. He's come from nowhere to get up in this second position. This is an amazing fight back from Morgan Weston. And now he is right in the hunt. So Newstead is having to play defensive. Weston in second. Fisher's now third, would you believe? 4th place is Gilman, and 5th place is Southwood Junior. They've been caught napping there. Here comes Weston, up into the final turn. He's going to take the lead, and Morgan Weston's come through. Brilliant. And now Marley Fisher's getting in there as well for second position. Fisher's trying to squeeze Newstead. They bang wheels twice. And Newstead hangs on to second place. Great bit of racecraft. Oh, these guys really are standing and delivering. On the inside comes Fisher. Gets the move on the inside into the S's. Back into second place. And now on the hunt for Morgan Weston. And he's got speed and momentum. Up the inside. Takes the lead back. So back into the lead goes Marley Fisher. Weston's not done yet. He's going to try again, but he's trying to stretch away from Newstead, Gilman and Southwood Junior. Meanwhile, Grayson Wortley is up to 7th place. He's tucked up behind Jack Baker. So they're making a bit of a comeback as well. But as they come across the line, there's going to be a few seconds left on the clock. That means they'll have to go at it for 2 laps more. It looks like Southwood Junior's trying another trick or two on the 2 men in front. Newstead and Gilman, still 3rd and 4th. Southwood Junior's in the mix. Almost led the race, don't forget. So Aaron Southwood Jr. definitely a factor as Wortley has got up into 6th place. So Wortley has made it to 6th, and the back end steps out for Southwood Jr. The back end steps out in the S's. That's lost him a bit of momentum. Now Gilman's going to make the move on Newstead. Newstead's having none of it for 3rd position. But the lead is still a close one between Marley Fisher and Morgan Weston. Weston, who started dead last, and Marley Fisher, who ended up tangling with Wortley when they were battling for the lead, are now 1st and 2nd between them, and they're about to go into the last lap. What a race! And it's not over yet. Into the final lap they go. And Fisher is just a whisker in front of Weston. 3rd place is anybody's guess. Newstead, Gilman and Southwood Junior are all in the hunt with Wortley waiting in the wings. Into the S's for the last time. Morgan Weston's got to play smooth here. He's got to play patient. Down the Sterney straight. He's got speed. He's got momentum. He needs conviction to get past Marley Fisher now. He needs to be disciplined. He's right in behind Fisher. Fisher's holding it, and he gets through on the undercut. They're going to be side by side in the left-hander. Marley Fisher holds it. Can he do the switchback? Weston's back on the inside. There's not a lot of room, but he's going to make it through buttons. He now needs to counteract Fisher. Fisher's still there on the inside. Into the final turn. Fisher's going to be on the inside. Weston's going to have speed on the outside. And he tucks back in. Marley Fisher's going to get it. Marley Fisher wins round 1 at Clay Pigeon. Brilliant, brilliant racing. Magic. And right to the line, Wortley nearly gets Southwood Junior for 5th. Oh my goodness, great.